Happy Wednesday. What it do? What it do? Today's March 2nd. Look, a lot going on in Major League Baseball, and I want to dive right into it, man. Just want to start off by saying, thank you for listening and downloading. I really appreciate your support. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back at _Clarence Jones. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I subscribe to your YouTube channel. My YouTube channel name is Clarence Jones Sports Media. Check out my website, www.cjsportsmedia.com. Okay. Now, since no other Braves fan want to say it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it. If baseball season don't come back this season, just remember who was the last team standing. Okay. And that was my Atlanta Braves. All right. We are the last team standing if baseball season don't come back. I just want to get that out there because I haven't heard any Braves fans say that yet. And I don't know why, but we are the last team standing. All right. All right, man. All jokes aside. Okay. All jokes aside, this is ridiculous. Knowing and finding out these last couple of days, especially yesterday, that, Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association wasn't able to get a deal done. They couldn't been able to agree on the labor deal, the collective bargain agreement, CBA. And this is ridiculous, but I got to say, I'm with the players 100% on this. When it comes to making money early in your career, that's important. Free agency shouldn't be, taking so long. I mean, why do I got to commit to a baseball club for 6 years before I can even think about free agency? Why can't I break that year in 2 years or 3 years? Like, I got to wait 6 years. And I get it. Some of these players start off with the minor league teams, but come on, man. We talking about free agency here. We talking about players still in their prime, trying to get paid, And I'm listening to a lot of platforms, and I'm reading a lot of people's thoughts on this on social media, and I'm reading some blogs, and a lot of people is pointing the finger at Commissioner Rob Manfred. I don't know where you pointing your finger at. I'm pointing my finger at the owners. The owners, this should be something the owners should be taking care of. Now, definitely Manfred do have a lot to play in this. His name is always in the mix. We can go back to the Houston Astros and how he handled that situation. And now this situation here, Major League Baseball players won't get paid for missed games. This is ridiculous, and it makes me wonder how long these players are going to be on strike. Okay. How long these players are going to refuse not to sign this CBA, and, how long can players go without getting money, receiving their paychecks? That's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm concerned about. And I'm really curious to see how far they go. They have every right to be, declining right now and, rejecting what's being presented to them. Young players deserve to get paid early. Free agency. It shouldn't take, 6 years. Why I got to commit to a team? You think about all that. Tanking. Fix tanking. Teams are tanking. Fix that. Overall, fix contracts. Contracts need to be presented in a different way. Like I said, yes, I mean, you're not wrong for blaming Rob Manfred. If you feel like he's responsible for this, I'm with you on that. You're not wrong for that. Okay? My thing is this here. What about the owners? Can we hold the owners accountability? Can they get some blame in this? That's all I'm saying. Can the owners, take some control in this and say, hey, we need to fix this, and this? I was really shocked to hear that players won't be getting paid. I was like, what? Wow. Couldn't believe it. So I don't know how long this is going to go on. Do I think we will have a season this year? Yes, I definitely do. I don't think this will get like crazy out of hand. No opening day for us. Opening day supposed to have been set. Was it? I don't even know the actual date for opening day. Was it the bottom of March? first week of April. I don't have the, information in front of me, but I think it's crazy. I really do. This started like literally a couple of days after my Braves won the World Series, like a couple of weeks. I want to say like the bottom of November, heading into December, then January, then February. Now, yesterday, was March 1st, and there's still no agreement. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, let's sit back and see how this play out. But like I say, my main concern in this is how the players are going to handle this, knowing they're not going to be getting paid. That's the key. How long can this strike go on? You feel what I'm coming from here? That's what I'm worrying about. How long can this strike continue to keep going on? Now, we can say it's a strike, but it's just more like players is, hey, man, players have the right to agree and sign to what they, agree to. They can't just be forced. Okay. But with them not getting any money, them not getting any game checks, not getting paid, how long can this go on? The owners got to do better. Along with Rob Manfred, fixing free agency, getting young players paid early. Free agency, players should be able to see free agency in a third year, fourth year. Why 6 for? Fix these contracts, tanking. It's so much problems in the MLB. It makes, from the outside looking in, like, man, is Rob Manfred controlling this? But what about the owners too? These owners are paid. They got the money too. They got some say so. We can't leave them out. I mean, I think we'd be wrong to leave them out. They playing some parts in this. They play a role in this. So we'll see, how long this play out. We'll see what happens with this. I was really excited yesterday because I thought it was going to get down. Like, it's March. Spring is already here, about to be here. We're going to get a deal in place. But if you look at what the players are, coming from when they're talking about the contracts and free agency and, fixing tanking and players getting paid early, in their prime, that big contract. If you look at that, it makes sense, man. Free agency is definitely a problem. This 6-year reserve, I never liked it that. Even when I play, I'm going, to the PlayStation here, but even when I play the MLB The Show, I'm like, why I got to be in the minor leagues for so long? Why I got to wait 6 years before? I mean, so I'm just saying, so I can only imagine as a player, that's in his prime and he's doing his thing, happen to wait this long. 6-year reserve, free agency. And, what about the teams, our teams, that's tanking? Owners and Rob Manfred, they got to fix this. I blame both of them. All right. Like I said, I do hear, and I read a lot of people just point all the blame at Rob Manfred. And I'm like, you got to hold the owners accountable. Like, seriously, we as baseball fans, we got to hold the owners accountable for this. It's easy to point the finger at Rob Manfred, right? Nobody really likes commissioners in sports. Roger Goodell always getting booed in the NFL draft. Now, Adam Silver's a different story. He's like the most probably likable NBA commissioner, Adam Silver. He's probably like the most likable one. But for the most part, nobody really likes commissioners. It's part of the job. But we got to hold the owners accountable too. We just got to. It's only fair if we do it that way. Now, like I said, I think baseball season will get going. I just don't know when. I mean, could it go the whole March without baseball? Possibility. I think maybe most players got enough money at least to ride it out to end of March. I'll say maybe by sometime April, 2nd or 3rd week, they come to a deal. Ain't no guarantee. This is my gut feeling. Or, I mean, we can get some in the next 2-3 weeks. we can have a deal in place with MLB and MLBPA finally agree. I say March or April, we get this thing going. But I don't blame the players. Like I said, I think it's messed up that they still not even getting paid for these games being postponed. But they got to do what they got to do to get their voices heard. And like I say, they concerns in this CBA is definitely, it makes sense. You want to improve the game, and like I said, yes, we as fans, we probably being impatient right now. I'm probably wondering like, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. I didn't bought tickets and I got plans with family and friends to go to this game. Hey, they're going to figure out something where you can be able to rearrange your ticket seats. Don't even worry about that. Like I say, I'm a big fan of that free agency. Like, free agency should be opening up a lot more than how it was, running in the past. This 6-year, reserve, commitment, whatever we want to call it, got to fix that. Overall contract, got to fix that. Teams tanking, players, all fix that. Let's see what happens, man. Grambling State University. All right. Hugh Jackson, head coach at Grambling State, hired Art Briles. Okay. And, for the offensive coordinator position, right, at Grambling State. And, last week, and they got hectic, and it caused a lot of, it caused a lot of concerns. A lot of eyes was on Hugh Jackson, and, everybody, weighing in, throwing their 2 cents in, how you go out and hire this man where this man can't even run a program. He destroyed that Baylor University program with sexual assault cases and, not being able to control his football players breaking the rules. Some of them is in prison right now. Art Briles, couldn't maintain that Baylor. And, we, didn't heard from him in a couple years, about 3-4 years. He went on to, I think, coach somewhere. Was it Canadian Football League or something like that? Never NFL. And now, he was trying to get back into the college atmosphere, college football. And Hugh Jackson gave him opportunity. And once he hired Art Briles as the offensive coordinator, the internet went crazy, TV, social media, radio, everything, everybody's weighing in about, hey, it's messed up. This is a, historical black college, HBCU college. And why do you brought this man here onto our campus to coach our football team when, he mishandled sexual assault cases, didn't report stuff. I mean, just wasn't a good coach, right? That's basically what the whole plan was. The plan was for him to be a good coach at Baylor, but he wasn't. He mishandled these sexual assault cases. His football players, he couldn't control them. He ran Baylor University into the ground. And Hugh Jackson gave him opportunity after, several, years, or, a couple of years from the game. Like I say, he went to CFL and tried to coach. I think was it a head coach position he got in Canada? I think it was a Canadian league. All right. Then, like I said, he never went to the NFL, and, we found out he was the offensive coordinator at Grambling. And then what do we know? In less than a week, he stepped down. Was it yesterday he stepped down? Was it Sunday? Because today is Wednesday. So it was either Tuesday, Monday, or Sunday. He stepped down from the position. He resigned. I was thinking he was going to get fired at first, but I'm like, fired or resign. It only happened because, we made it happen, on the internet, on our platforms, and on our blogs, talking about how this is not right. And I understand everybody's frustration, but when I was finding out, what Hugh Jackson did, like when I found out, that he hired him, and then, once I found out that, Art Briles resigned, I was like, I would love to talk to Hugh Jackson about this, because I feel like a lot of people gave Hugh Jackson hell for this, beat him down, and, oh, Hugh Jackson lost his mind, he's crazy. But at the same time, I'm really interested in knowing what made Hugh Jackson wanting to give Art Briles a position, and what made him offer Art Briles a position. What made him brought Art Briles on his staff. Now, I'm not judging Hugh Jackson, like a lot of, you are. I'm not. I just want to know his reasoning for it, so I can, kind of compare things. Probably won't get to talk to Hugh Jackson because I'm, but I'm saying, if I had the opportunity, I would love to ask him that question. Like, what was the reason you brought Art Briles on your staff? I just want to know, This is not beat Hugh Jackson down type, scenario for me. I just want to know why he hired him. And then we get into the phrase of, Hugh Jackson and Art Briles, and Hugh Jackson lost his mind, but we beating Art Briles up, right? Okay, we beating him up for it, and we are saying things like, "Oh, he had his second chance already, and he don't deserve a chance." But like I said, and I'm not judging you for going at Art Briles in that way. I'm not. My take on this is, when do Art Briles get an opportunity? Is this a thing of, he ran out of chances? But let's try putting ourselves in Art Briles' shoes. When do we get a chance? Do he go Division III football? Do he go Division II? Do he go high school? Do he go Pop Warner, youth football? I'm not being funny. I'm being serious here. Or do we just say, you know what, he just should never coach again? I mean, do we have that right? Do we have that say so? I'm a believer in second chances, but when you get third and fourth and fifth and sixth chances, the question marks do appear. Like, okay, this guy had so many chances, And like I said, this is not a right or wrong answer. I just want to know, when do Art Briles get an opportunity to coach football without, we all breathing down his neck for things he did wrong? He gave us reasons to breathe down his neck. Let's get that understood. He gave us reasons to, go down his neck and just be on his what, because of, the mishandling at Baylor University and all those women that was, sexually assaulted, and, Art Briles didn't protect those women. He didn't took those cases serious. He didn't control his football players. So he gave us the reason for us to be, being on his what. But on the other side, I want to know, when do he coach again, or do he coach? Like I said, it's not a right or wrong answer. It is something I would love to hear from anybody, you, your friends, whoever. How do you feel about Art Briles coaching again? Division II, Division III, Pop Warner, middle school. I mean, do he coach again? And that's why I say I would really love to talk to Art Briles. I mean, well, Art Briles too, but more Hugh Jackson, to get the reason why, hey, Coach Jackson, what, made you feel like this was the right decision to bring on Art Briles to your coaching staff? Why did you hire him? What made you, what did you saw that we didn't saw? Because, I mean, we all went crazy on the internet, right? I mean, we talked to our friends, where we was at when we found out Art Briles was hired by HBCU, Grambling State, head coach Hugh Jackson. We was like, what the hell? And like I said, this is not a right or wrong. It's all about discussion, man. It's all about discussion. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about discussion. That's it. This is not a right or wrong and hey, hold on. You wrong for saying this, or you wrong for saying that. No, it's all about how you feel. Put yourself in Art Briles' shoes. Put yourself in Hugh Jackson's shoes. If you're a Grambling State University student athlete, or a Grambling State University student, or you a Baylor University student, put yourself in, in those people's shoes, and how would you feel? It's all about discussion to me, hearing different people laying out different thoughts. This is not a right or wrong type circle. But like I said, he resigned. He felt like he was becoming, he was already a distraction, but he resigned basically because it was causing a distraction for Grambling State University, Grambling State University alumni, Grambling State University football team. It was just causing distraction overall for HBCU, college sports, college, overall. So I think it was the right thing to do for Art Briles, though. I really do, because, that to tell him that he's not acceptable yet. But like I said, it all goes back to, when do he coach, or do he coach again? Do he just disappear from the planet and not be able to coach again because of the mishandling and the bad decisions and the bad controlling and just a bad coach at Baylor State? This is not about wins and losses. Oh, well, he won this much again. I ain't even talking about that. I'm not even thinking about how many games he won and lost at Baylor University. I don't even care about that. I'm talking about he failed as a head coach because he couldn't control his team on off the field. He didn't handle things right. He didn't take things in considerate. He didn't push hard enough. He didn't put forth that effort in making sure non-football players are, taken care of. He didn't show that, he didn't show his concern towards non-football players or his football players, because if it was, he would have had them under control. He had no control of nothing. So don't give me how much games he won and how much games he lost. Oh, he had RG3. I don't care. He didn't took sexual assault seriously, and it cost him. It's costing him every day. We ain't forget. That's why the minute we find out Art Briles is hired, we all put in our 2 cents. But I would love to hear from a lot more people. Whether you a sports talker or what, just let me know your thoughts. Hit me up on Twitter. Email me. How you feel about that? Okay. Kyler Murray and this proposal to the Arizona Cardinals, and basically saying, speak with your words and hold on. What he said? Speak with your action. Speak with your action and not your words. I didn't read the proposal. It's like a long message to the Cardinals, right? Like you saw, it was like it's long, and it is basically summing up to say, hey, I want to play here, but I want to get paid. Speak with your accent, not your words. Speak with your actions, not your words. I want to get paid. I want to be here. I don't know what's going on in the Arizona Cardinals locker room. All I know is I think this team just had a meltdown, because the Arizona Cardinals started off so great, right? Oh, they started the season off great. I mean, they were looking great. Like they was going to get past the Rams, get past the Bucks, Green Bay, and they had a meltdown. Kyler Murray got those injuries, and I mean, from there, man, those injuries just went from, he's missing games. When he finally got back, he looked all right, but not really that good like how he was before he got the injury. Then he went into that Monday night playoff game against the Rams and just looked bad. And I get it. They didn't have, DeAndre Hopkins, but I thought, if you're a Cardinals fan, you got to feel the same way I feel. Like you guys should have went out a little bit better than that. Where was the competition? That game was horrible. And no, I'm not blaming Kyler Murray only. I blame everybody. Offense, defense, coaching staff. It's everybody's fault. It's not just Kyler Murray's fault, But I just think this is going to be an interesting season for them. We going to really find out what's up with this team. This could cause some problems in the locker room. This can cause some chemistry to be kind of loosey, like, messed up. Might have to take some back steps and rebuild the chemistry. Is this all about money? Contract? Could be. But was it worth Kyler Murray going on social media and taking everything off Cardinals? No, I thought he went too far with that. I thought that was petty. If anything, you call the Cardinals and you talk to whoever in the office or Zoom or however you got to do it, and you figure it out. But going on that internet, Twitter and Instagram, and taking all your stuff down, it makes things worse. Because if you guys do end up, making things good again, we ain't gonna trust you. We ain't gonna know if you're really good or not. I just thought that was a bad look for Kyler Murray. But I think Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, they're going to have some problems this offseason if they already not having it, which they are having it from what we know. But it can get worse come preseason, so they better try to fix this thing before preseason. All right? But right now, it's a mess. It got to be a mess. That front office and Kyler Murray not seeing eye to eye. Will he get paid? I don't think they're going to be paying him. I'll be surprised. With a new contract, we'll see. But it's a mess. It looked bad as a leader, the quarterback, to take that approach, to take all your stuff down on social media. Quarterbacks don't do that. That's a running back move. That's a wide receiver, a linebacker, not a quarterback. I just can't see a quarterback doing that. Maybe it's just me. I just can't see a quarterback doing it. I don't know. Thoughts on Ja Morant, okay, and the Grizzlies. We all talking about him. And speaking of Ja Morant, according to NBC Sports, they reported that was his last week that back in 2019, the NBA draft, that the Pelicans was trying to move up to the number 2 spot in a trade to be able to land Ja Morant and Zion on the same team, which would have been the Pelicans. Ja Morant and Zion Williamson would have been on the Pelicans together in 2019. They was, the Pelicans was trying to move up to number 2 with a trade. I don't know who they were trying to trade, but that would have been good to see Zion and Ja on the same squad. I mean, wouldn't that would have been great? Pelicans Nation, New Orleans Nation. I mean, that would have been great, right? Ja Morant and Zion. I mean, how they would have pulled that off, it would have been impossible. No way the Grizzlies would have taken whoever the Pelicans was offering them or whatever type of deal that the Pelicans was offering the Grizzlies. No way the Grizzlies would have took that deal. I just don't see it. I just don't. But it would have been something like wow to watch. I can only imagine. All right, so back to the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. Everybody's talking about him. They on fire and Ja Morant this and Ja Morant that. He scored 52 points the other night, blah, blah, blah. Ja this, Ja that, right? The number 3 in the West, they doing great. But can we slow down a little bit? Can we slow down? Can we let Ja Morant do his thing and the Grizzlies do their thing and, win a playoff series? I mean, we're not even in the playoffs yet. It's only March. And I'm hearing everybody on their platforms, everybody I'm talking to, oh, man, those Grizzlies, man, Warriors better watch out, Suns better watch out. And I'm like, I don't think it's that serious yet. I mean, the Grizzlies look good, but I don't think they beating Phoenix or Golden State in a 7-game series. I mean, let's be real here. Let's not get caught up in all this greatness that Ja Morant is doing and all this greatness that the Grizzlies is doing. They ain't ready to beat the Warriors and Suns yet. Let's chill on that. Like I said, I like Ja Morant. He's from my state. Me and him from the same state, South Carolina. Same as Zion. I like Ja Morant and Zion. I follow them both on Twitter. I'm a big fan of them because they from my state. So I ride with them all day, every day. But I think we need to slow down all this Ja this and Grizzlies that. Let them win a playoff series first. Let them continue to do good. Because you wasn't talking about them, 2 years ago. No, you wasn't. You wasn't talking about them last year. Now they winning and Ja Morant is making all these historic plays and he's dunking on people. He's dropping 52 points. And now you trying to, let him do his thing. Let the Grizzlies do their thing. And let's see what they do in the playoffs. Because if they mess around, something go wrong. The same people that's already talking about Ja this and Ja that and all this great way will be bashing them down. Let him do his thing. Let him lead the Grizzlies. Let the Grizzlies do their thing. And let's see what they do in the playoffs. Now, if Ja and the Grizzlies mess around and light a match in the playoffs, mess around, get to the Western Conference Final, I mean, we got to be talking then. But it's still regular season. You feel me? It's still regular season here. Let's relax, man. Let's just enjoy the show. Let's get our popcorn ready, and just enjoy the Grizzlies. Enjoy Ja Morant, leading the Grizzlies. But come on with all this Ja, he can be the MVP. I mean, he could, but can he, I'm pretty sure Ja Morant's more focused on winning a playoff series and winning the NBA championship. I don't think Ja Morant cares about no MVP. All right. Let's look at the main focus and what's most important. Winning a playoff series and getting to the Western Conference Finals and winning it and get to the NBA Finals. Getting past teams like Warriors, Suns. Okay? Come on now. Same people be riding the bandwagon, be the main one getting off when stuff go wrong. When the tires start getting flat or, you on the side of the road, you ain't got no gas, everybody getting out, oh, I can get out here. No. If you ain't been on the bandwagon, don't be on it now. Okay? Now, if you're a Grizzlies fan, if you rolling with the Grizzlies, of course, you talk your, trash and wear your Ja Morant jersey and brag about the 52 points. And brag about who he dunked on and how he caught the ball and just throw it and make the shot. If you're a true Grizzlies fan, you've been riding with, the Grizzlies from day one, then you do your thing. Talk your trash. Hype it up. Like that match now. But if you ain't been rocking with the Grizzlies from day one, don't do that now because you're going to jinx that team. You're going to jinx Ja Morant. Don't do that. I hate when media do that. Some of us media do that. Some of us fans that ain't been a fan of the team in I don't know how long start getting on the bandwagon before if something get wrong, and then when something go wrong, they off the bandwagon. Don't do that. Stop it. Let Ja Morant and the Grizzlies continue to do their thing, and let's see what happens. That's all we should do. All right, that's all I got for you. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Follow me. I follow you back on Twitter @_ Clarence Jones. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I subscribe to your YouTube channel. My YouTube channel name, Clarence Jones Sports Media. Visit my website, cjsportsmedia.com. Check out my blogs. fantasy sports, services, everything. Have a great day. Stay safe. Peace. I'm out.